English 112. Miss Brewer here, and I am here for your week 5 lecture video. So after this week, you are halfway through the course. Yay! And we need to talk about your paper. So you guys are working on your literary analysis essay, and hopefully you completed your thesis and your outline, and you have a good start on the paper. So some things that I want to clear up just to make sure everyone is aware, okay? You have to have a minimum of 3 poems. You're locating a theme that's about a social issue of some sort. So essentially, what are those 3 poems saying about a social issue? It should be similar, a similar issue, okay? They may address it in different ways or offer differing perspectives, but the social issue theme should be the same for all 3 poems. The 2 scholarly articles that are required, those scholarly articles there are many provided to you. You can also locate them on your own, but you must use the LRC to do that, okay? So you have to utilize the LRC in order to get your scholarly articles. Now, those are the requirements, okay? So 2 scholarly articles, and then remember, you have to use that chapter 3 about spoken word poetry or slam poetry. What that means is you have to include a spoken word poem in your analysis, right? That would make the most sense. So make sure that you're doing that. So you need the chapter 3 and then 2 scholarly articles. Okay, there's your 3. That was your attendance assignment answer last week. And then of course you need to cite the 3 poems that you're talking about. So that's super important to remember. Now, I usually do not allow outside research at all, okay? Meaning no websites or anything like that. However, for the purposes of this paper, should you decide to utilize some background information from the websites that we're using, like the Poetry Foundation or things like that, feel free to do that. Do not search background information on your own. Obviously, you can't use Wikipedia or any wikis or eNotes or anything like that. But if, let's say, you looked at Langston Hughes's poem and then you decided to look at some of the things on the side of that website and learn a little bit about his background, and you want to include that in your paper, you're welcome to do that. Be sure that you cite it, and you cite it properly. So you guys already took English 111, so you should know what an MLA citation looks like, but I'm going to review that really quickly for you today to be sure, all right? But it is imperative that you cite properly, okay? So if you choose to veer away from the LRC where your citations are done for you, and I'll show you that if I think I haven't yet, so I'll show you that. If you choose to veer away from that, you've got to make sure that your citations are correct on the works cited page and that they are correct parenthetically inside of your paper. So just be aware of that, okay? So required 3 poems, required 2 scholarly articles, and chapter 3. You can choose to add to that if you go outside of those things, and it has to be done correctly, and it has to be a legitimate source. So just be aware of that, okay? And I've not let any classes ever do that before, but I do know that the information is right there, and if you choose to go ahead and get some outside information from those websites, I don't want you to not be able to use it. Just make sure you cite it, and you cite it properly. Okay, so you already understand the assignment, right? And it's not a super long paper, okay, 1,000 to 1,250. If it's longer than 1,250, that's okay. Keep it at a max of like 1,500, okay? But you don't, I just wanted to make it a little bit shorter because your quotes from the poems would be shorter than a quote from a novel, which I talked about last week. So going back into this week, which is week 5, you guys are going to write your rough draft. So your thesis and outline is due Sunday night, or today's Thursday, so technically it's not due yet, but for this week it was turned in on Sunday night, and now you need to go ahead and you need to write your rough draft. The rough draft needs to be written by Thursday, June 18th. So you have, a couple of days essentially to write the paper. If you put the work in on the outline, it shouldn't be that difficult to write the paper. To be honest, you could write it in one sitting if you block off a couple of hours to do so. This is what's really super important. On Thursday, you must upload your paper in a Microsoft Word document 2 places. You need to upload it to the forum. And so what you'll do is you'll create a thread. You should be comfortable with forums at this point. You will create a thread with your name as the title, okay? So I would write Siobhan Brewer lit analysis paper or something like that, okay? And then what I do is I upload my Microsoft Word draft to that thread, okay? After I have created my own thread, then I go back and look at other people's posts, and I find someone who has not had anyone sign up to peer edit their paper, okay? So if I go to the next one that's open, and I open, Bob Smith's paper, but a girl has already commented and say, hey, I'll edit your paper, then I can't say I'm gonna edit that paper because somebody's already doing it. So I need to get out of there and go into another thread, find one where there's no comment, okay? And then, hey, Steve Jones, I will edit your paper. That means I'm that peer editor, okay? And no one else should be signing up. If you don't do it in that order, then the numbers get messed up. So it's really important that you post your paper first, and then you find someone who has not had anyone sign up, okay? And unless we have an odd number of people, it should work itself out, okay? So you sign up to edit their paper, okay? And what you're gonna do to edit their paper is you're going to download that Microsoft document to your computer, and you are going to use the insert comment feature that Microsoft offers, and you're going to insert comments where you think they should look at stuff or fix things, or maybe you think that something is confusing, or you think that the in-text citation may not be correct, or whatever it might be, okay? You're just trying to help your peer, all right? And then you're gonna save that, okay? And you will also download the peer editing sheet. So you have a Microsoft Word peer editing sheet that you will download the sheet to your computer, and then you will type in the information to answer these questions, okay? So this peer editing sheet is a guide, all right? And it's something that you need to complete. I hope everyone understands that. You'll go back to the forum, go back to that person's thread, and you will upload their edited paper with your comments, and you will upload the peer editing sheet, okay? So those 2 things must be complete. All right, so you put 2 things in the forum for them after you do the edit, all right? In order to get your grade, you must upload your peer editing sheet to the assignment that says rough draft peer edit grade, okay? So you're going to only upload the peer editing sheet. I don't need to see the rough draft, all right? That's between you and the person. All I need to see is that you have uploaded the peer editing sheet, all right? And that is what's gonna get you, your grade. Okay, so I'll look at the forum and I'll look at your rough drafts and make sure that it was turned in on time and, peek at it. But the feedback that you're gonna get is gonna be from your peer when it comes into Moodle, all right? The second place that you're going to upload your rough draft is to NetTutor. So if you go to the top of the page, our Moodle page, all right, under support, okay, so under support, you will see a little green puzzle piece that says, need a tutor. You will click on this, need a tutor puzzle piece, and it will allow you to upload your paper, and then somebody will asynchronously look at that paper, meaning you don't have to be there live with them. It's not a tutoring session. They're going to edit your paper and they're going to send it back to you. The earlier you get your papers submitted there, the better. It takes anywhere from 24 to 72 hours to get your paper back from them. So you have to do it on Thursday because you're Friday and Saturday, and then you'll get a paper back on Sunday, and your revisions are going to be due, okay? Now your revisions won't be due until the following week, but just be aware, you got to get it in to NetTutor early, okay? So the same day that you upload your paper to the forum, you need to upload your paper to NetTutor. You're going to get feedback from NetTutor. They're going to email you a PDF of your paper, and that PDF will tell you about strengths, it'll tell you about things to work on, and then it will do a detailed edit of your paper. You're going to be required to upload that PDF to me for an assignment for a grade. It's a really easy A, so make sure that you get that feedback from NetTutor. So that's how you're going to be revising this first paper. You're going to be revising the first paper from NetTutor, and you're going to be revising the first paper from your peer edit that you receive, okay? Feel free to have other people look at your paper if you want extra revisions, okay? You will not be getting a whole bunch of feedback from me because you've already done MLA formatted research papers. So if you need help or you have specific questions, feel free to contact me, all right? When you are citing in your paper, make sure that your Works Cited page has the proper citations. And anything you use from the LRC has a cite tool, and all you need to do is click that button and make sure it says MLA 8th edition, and your full citation for the Works Cited page is complete. The other thing you want to make sure you do is you download that PDF, which I suggested you do weeks ago when I told you about the articles. But make sure that you download that PDF so that you can get accurate page numbers for the articles, okay? So it's really important that you're putting the page number from the article when you put your citation in parenthetically. Reminder that you must cite things that are direct quote, that are paraphrased, okay, that are ideas that you have gotten from those sources, all right? So we can unintentionally plagiarize if we don't cite when we have paraphrased someone else's idea. So make sure you are citing. Most of the sources on the LRC do have page numbers. The page numbers are in the full citation. I can see where the page numbers are. So if you put Brewer 1 and I look at the full citation and it says that the page numbers for the articles are 468 to 552, well, 1 was actually supposed to be 468. So make sure you're getting the accurate page numbers, okay, for those citations. So this week, you guys, your attendance assignment is going to be Journal 5, okay? So I'm not doing an additional assignment for you because you're writing a paper and you're editing a paper, which is a lot of work. So just your midterm reflection counts as your attendance assignment for this week, okay? So make sure you get that done so you're marked present for the week, all right? And when you're reflecting, obviously you're just reflecting on the readings that you've done and the forums that you participated in and those types of things. And that will be your attendance assignment. So here's what you have due, all right? You have your rough draft due by Thursday, turn it into the forum, okay, here in Moodle, and also upload it to NetTutor. And then you have your peer edit due by Sunday, and you will upload your peer edit sheet to the rough draft peer edit grade. Okay, so make sure that you get that done. Make sure you do a detailed job on that peer edit sheet. Don't just write the word yes, okay? Give some explanation, all right? Because that's what I'm looking at for your grade. So make sure you get that done. And then, of course, Journal 5 is your midterm reflection and also your attendance assignment, all right? So you guys will have time to revise your essay. So your peer edits will be due Sunday night. And then you'll have until the following Thursday to make your revisions. Bear in mind that we will be moving on, okay, to the next topic. So you'll be revising in addition to some extra stuff. As always, if you have questions, you can contact me via email. Please utilize my office hour. I had a very productive meeting this week. Somebody showed up, yay, to my office hour, and I was able to help. And so if you have questions, utilize that time. And at this point, hopefully you're ready to go and write your paper. I'm going to try to get feedback to you on your thesis and your outlines no later than like Tuesday. So, you know, hopefully that will help you guys clean some stuff up if you need to. If you have questions, I hope I hear from you, and happy writing.